Okay, Happy New Year and good evening, everybody. This is the January 7th meeting of the Planning Board of the Town of Smithtown. We're going to begin it with the Pledge of Allegiance, and you're all invited to join in. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. The first item on tonight's agenda is the appointment of the Planning Board Council.
Okay, just so everybody is aware, that's not aware, our Planning Board Council's term expired at the end of the last calendar year. So in order for her to continue, we need to reappoint her tonight to an additional term, which would be for 1 year. So with that being said, may I have a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we reappoint Lucretia M. Lucervo as attorney to the Smithtown Planning Board.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. The motion carries unanimously. The resolution is adopted, and or the appointment is approved, and Ms. Lucevero will now be our counsel for the calendar year of 2015. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, the next item on tonight's agenda under Part 2, the Planning Department is recommending the following items for adjournment as we have insufficient information to act upon them. Number 1, 2012-04 Storybook Homes. Number 2, 2012-02 Carlson Associates. Number 3, 2009-05 FP4 Realty. Number 4, 773 Scholar Estates. Item 5, 1135 Tahami Plat. Item 6, 288 Olivia Estates. Item 7, 1039 Garden Gate. Item 8, TC 1401 SMSA Limited Partnership Verizon. Item 9, 1157 Map of Core at Kings Park. And under Part 3 Closed Hearings, Item 10, 2000 and 1006 KBC Holdings. Item 11, number 911A Glen Hill Northern. Mr. Chairman, these are the items the Planning Department is recommending for adjournment this evening.
Is there anybody who wishes to be heard on any of the matters regarding which the Planning Department is requesting or recommending an adjournment? Seeing none, a motion, please.
Motion to adjourn matters 1 through 11 as read.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? So adjourned.
Oh, jeez, this one will go away. Mr. Chairman, the next item we have on the agenda under Part 4 New Hearings is Item 12, a subdivision known as Map of Open Meadow, number 1156. The request is to subdivide a 2-acre parcel of land into 2 1-acre single-family residential lots. The Map of Open Meadow 1156 is a proposal for a 2-lot subdivision of a roughly rectangular 87,282 square foot 2-acre tax lot on Sunken Meadow Road. The property is 146 feet wide at the front yard setback line and 496 feet deep. The property contains an existing dwelling, a detached 1-story frame garage, and an existing 1-story wood frame log house. A seeker recommendation has not been prepared because the Planning Department is not recommending approval of this application. The Department of Environment and Waterways has indicated that a seeker determination is not required prior to an agency's denial of an application. This application was scheduled for tonight's meeting at the applicant's request. The proposal is to split off the rear of the property into a new lot and construct a proposed residence behind the existing dwelling. Lot number 1 with the proposed dwelling would be a flag lot with a 25-foot wide, 318-foot long flagpole strip of land, giving this lot 25 feet of frontage on Sunken Meadow Road. The map shows the existing log house and frame garage would be demolished, and lot number 1 would be accessed via the existing curb cut by a proposed 15-foot wide driveway, which would be built approximately 350 feet long to a 44-foot wide proposed turnaround. The map indicates that lot number 2 would have access to Sunken Meadow Road only over lot number 1 with a common driveway easement. The existing lot is 146 feet wide, and the application proposes dividing the lot into a lot width of 25 feet for lot number 1 and a lot width of 121 feet for lot number 2. Section 322-9B of the zoning ordinance requires that each lot in the R43 zoning district have at least 40 feet of road frontage and be at least 150 feet wide at the front yard setback line, and have at least 43,560 square feet or 1 acre of lot area. Under the zoning ordinance, this property as existing is a non-conforming lot due to the lot width of 146 feet. The property ranges from 82 feet to 100 feet above sea level. The western portion of the property is relatively level, and the eastern part of the property rises steeply towards the east property line. While the surveys submitted do not indicate the location or extent of steep slopes on the property, Suffolk County elevation data indicate that approximately 11,000 square feet of the property is classified as steep slopes over 15%. Therefore, per section 322-19 of the zoning ordinance, the property is calculated to have approximately 76,282 square feet, 1.75 acres of lot area. The yield of this property is 1 lot based on the 1.75 acres of calculated lot area. Due to the limited size of the property, it appears that the addition of any cul-de-sac could not result in the yield plan showing a configuration of 2 1-acre lots that conform to the zoning ordinance. Therefore, the legal yield of the subdivision is 1 lot. The log house was constructed in the wooded rear of the property between 1980 and 1984, and the applicant indicated it has been used as a second dwelling at least as far back as 1984. The structure does not appear to be legal in that it appears to have been built without a building permit and does not have a certificate of occupancy as required by section 322-92 of the zoning ordinance, or certificate of existing use as required by section 322-77 of the zoning ordinance. The log house first appeared on the tax assessor's records in November 2011. The application includes requests that the planning board grant variances of lot width in order to increase the yield from 1 lot to 2 non-conforming lots. This application would also require variances from the Board of Zoning Appeals to include environmentally sensitive lands in the lot area. The application also indicates requests for side and rear yard setback variances from the planning board. The proposed lot area of lot number 1 is 43,679 square feet, 1.00 acres, of which the driveway flagpole portion would be 7,950 square feet, 0.18 acres, and the remaining usable part of the property would be 35,729 square feet, 0.82 acres, without deducting for steep slopes. The proposed lot area of lot number 2 is 43,603 square feet, 1.00 acres, of which approximately 3,000 square feet, 0.07 acres, would be a dogleg at the northeast corner, and the remaining usable part of the property would be 40,603 square feet, 0.93 acres, without deducting for steep slopes. Adjusting for steep slopes per section 322-19 of the zoning ordinance, lot number 1 would have approximately 42,679 square feet, or 0.97 acres of lot area, and lot number 2 would have approximately 33,603 square feet, 0.77 acres of lot area. The following variances would be required. For lot number 1 in the rear, to reduce the minimum road frontage from 40 feet to 25 feet, a 38% variance. To reduce the minimum lot width from 150 feet to 25 feet, an 83% variance. To reduce the minimum rear yard depth from 100 feet to 75 feet, a 25% variance. And to reduce the lot area from 43,560 to approximately 42,679 square feet, approximately a 2% variance. For lot number 2 in the front, the variances include reducing the minimum lot width from 150 feet to 121 feet, a 19% variance. Reduce the minimum side yard depth from 24 foot to 23 feet, which is approximately a 4% variance, and that's existing. And reduce the minimum lot area from 43,560 square feet to approximately 33,603 square feet, a 23% variance. Pursuant to section 322-30.4 of the zoning ordinance, the planning board has the authority to grant variances simultaneously with final plat approval, provided that all of the following conditions are met. 1. The change does not alter the density required by the zoning district. 2. The change complies with Section 322-19 environmentally sensitive lands. 3. The change would result in the addition of not more than one lot to the proposed subdivision, provided it does not alter the density of the zoning district. And 4. When in the board's judgment, the change meets one or more of the following objectives. A. There is a public benefit or purpose in changing the requirement pattern. B. The alteration, such as a frontage reduction, is consistent with the surrounding lots. C. The change would preserve historically significant structures or features of the town. D. The change would preserve, protect, or promote scenic or environmentally sensitive lands. E. The alteration would better protect the homeowner from undesirable land uses. F. The change would reduce the amount of regrading or clearing of the property. Or G. The change would be incidental or minor and not alter the character of the neighborhood. With respect to Condition 1, density is measured in 5 ways throughout the United States, including 1. Dwellings per acre, 2. Lot frontage, 3. Lot width, 4. Floor area ratio, or FAR, and 5. Building coverage. The proposed lots do not comply with the maximum dwellings per acre permitted by the zoning district, in that, accounting for steep slopes per Section 322-19 of the zoning ordinance, each lot has less than 43,560 square feet, or 1 acre, of lot area. This application also proposes reductions in lot frontage and lot width at the front yard setback line. Therefore, this application increases the yield of this property from 1 lot to 2 lots. By these 3 definitions of density, it appears that this proposal does not meet Condition 1 of Section 322-30.4. With respect to Condition 2, the proposed subdivision does not comply with Section 322-19 environmentally sensitive lands, in that 322-19B states, no environmentally sensitive land shall be used to calculate the permitted density, building coverage, floor area, or minimum lot area. Each lot in the subdivision includes environmentally sensitive lands in the minimum lot area in the form of steep slopes. Because each lot is 1.00 acres, accounting for steep slopes results in each lot having less than the 1 acre minimum lot area required in the R43 zone. Section 322-19B1A allows the planning board to grant a variance for up to 50% of the maximum permissible yield if the land were deemed to be not environmentally sensitive. However, because of the yield of this property is 1 lot, even without the steep slopes, under this provision the planning board would only be allowed to grant a yield of 1/2 of 1 lot, or 0 lots. Therefore, it appears that this proposal does not meet Condition 2 of Section 322-30.4. With respect to Condition 3, although the change would result in the addition of not more than 1 lot to the proposed subdivision, it does alter the density of the zoning district as described above in Condition 1. Therefore, it appears that this proposal does not meet Condition 3 of Section 322-30.4. With respect to Condition 4, which requires that the planning board find that the change meets at least one of the 7 objectives cited above, the proposal does not appear to meet this requirement as discussed in the following. 4A. It appears that there is no public purpose or benefit to changing the requirements and that the community would not benefit from the reduction of lot width and road frontage. 4B. It appears that the width and frontage reductions are not consistent with the surrounding lots, in that none of the surrounding lots are 25-foot wide lots. All of the lots on this block are greater than 120 feet wide at the front yard setback line, and the average lot width on the surrounding lots is greater than 150 feet. While there is 1 lot on Sunken Meadow Road 800 feet to the east that is 25 feet wide, this lot appears to have been subdivided without planning board approval and appears to be the only one in the neighboring area. Therefore, it appears that the proposal does not meet Objective 4B. 4C. The variance would not appear to preserve any historically significant structures, and that the structures on the site are not listed on the town's inventory of historic sites. 4D. It appears that the change would not preserve or protect any environmentally sensitive lands, and that the proposal does not identify how any ESL will be protected by the change. 4E. It appears that the alteration would not protect the homeowners from undesirable land uses, and that the property is surrounded by other single-family dwellings in 1 acre zoning. 4F. It appears that the change would not reduce the amount of regrading or clearing of the property, and that the proposal does not identify any reduction in regrading or clearing caused by the change. And 4G, it appears that a variance request of 83% could not be considered incidental or minor. For the reasons listed above, it appears that the proposal does not meet any of the 7 objectives of Condition Number 4. Therefore, it appears that this proposal does not meet condition number 4 of section 322-30.4. In order for the planning board to consider granting the required lot area variances, all 4 criteria in section 322-30.4 must be met. However, it appears that this application does not meet any of the above criteria for planning board variances. Although it appears that the planning board does not have the authority to grant these variances, the applicant has the right to apply to the Board of Zoning Appeals for the variances, which does not have as many restrictions on its authority. The applicant should be aware that the Planning Department would likely recommend that the Board of Zoning Appeals deny these variance requests. The Planning Department recommends that the Planning Board adjourn the hearing of Open Meadow on number 1156 in order to permit the applicant the opportunity to try and obtain relief from the Board of Zoning Appeals. And attached to your memo, you have a subdivision plan as well as an aerial showing the block of the subdivision.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Vincent Tremarco. I represent the applicant. Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. I have a problem with the board because there's only 3 members here, and I know I'm going to have, a lot of questions and concerns from board members. I didn't know that 2 of the members would be absent tonight. So, if you want me to continue, I will, but I'm going to ask that the meeting be open and kept open because I want to present it, my case, to all the members of the board. And of course, notwithstanding that, I got this recommendation that Alex read, I guess about 1 o'clock today when I called up and asked them to send it. Generally speaking, it's sent to me a couple of days before. I don't know whether they were working hard at it. The date is January 2nd, so might have been they were doing revisions or whatever. So my concern is I want to present this to a full board. I know I can't guarantee that they'll be here the next time, but 2 is really not a good number to be missing, from a board.
Well, if you want us to adjourn this, I don't see any problem with that. The only thing I would say is before we get to that, the planning department is telling us that we don't have the authority to grant these area variances that they say are required, and you have to go to the Zoning Board of Appeals for those.
Well, I think they're talking about just the steep slope variance. I don't know that they're talking about anything else.
I believe the memo refers to more variances. If you go back and pull apart everything that Alex read, it appears that 2 sections of the zoning ordinance work in a way that limit this board's authority on the variance that results in increasing the number of lots from 1 to 2.
Okay, well, all right. So in any event, Mr. Tremarco has indicated that he would prefer to have this adjourned. I don't see any particular problem with that. Does anybody on the board have any problem with that?
No.
Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to be heard on this matter, which it appears is going to be adjourned in any event? Okay. Seeing none. Now, Mr. Tremarco, would you prefer a date certain or to have us keep it open?
Well, I'm going to do a little research on what David just said. Of course, I don't agree with this recommendation from the planning department.
And you'll have time now to
Right.
tell us in more
Maybe we
detail
could-
why that might
when is the
not be.
Yeah, when is the next meeting, anyway?
Next meeting would be 2 weeks from tonight, which would be January 21st.
No, I think the meeting after that.
Or would you just rather have us adjourn it and then leave it open?
Okay, and I can
Can we
it
do
by
that if we're
letter?
keeping the hearing open, or we have to pick a date?
If you don't pick a date, then it would just need to be re-advertised at such time as...
So we will pick a date then.
Yeah, how about the February?
First meeting in February?
Yeah, which would be, you know what, if you wouldn't mind the second meeting?
Second meeting in February. Okay, that is going to be, I'll tell you that in about 2 seconds. Second meeting in February is scheduled for February 18th,
That's fine.
which happens to be a religious holiday, Ash Wednesday, but most people that get ashes still go about their business that day. So if there's any problem,
18th of February. Have the first meeting in February.
which will be February 4th.
Okay.
Okay, that being said, motion, please.
I move that we adjourn the hearing of Open Meadow number 1156 to February 4th, 2015.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none? So adjourned to February 4th, 2015, being the first meeting that we have in the month of February this year. Thank you. Well, the matter has been adjourned, but about this hearing or something else? Please come up to the microphone, give your name and address, and then you can ask the question that you want to ask.
My name is Denise Rogers. My question
Your
is,
address for the record, please.
oh, I'm sorry, 10 Crestwood Drive, Fort Salonga. My question is, I did see the variance sign
The
on.
posting.
Posting.
Right.
But no letters were sent out to the area. Is there a reason, or is that not done?
Well, I'm going to ask you to take that up with the planning department after the meeting is over, which is going to be very soon, because we just have one other matter to handle.
Okay.
Okay? But the hearing is going to be held open,
Right,
so it's not going to be closed,
right,
and it's going to be continued on February 4th,
correct,
so that no further notice is going to be given,
right,
because that's already been given by the posting. But
right.
as far as your specific question is concerned, you can ask the members of the planning department staff as soon as the meeting is over.
Okay,
We're more than happy to speak to you.
thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, the next item we have on the agenda is item number 13, extension of conditional preliminary approval for subdivision 1147, map of Bridal Court in Fort Salonga. The request is for 4 retroactive extensions of conditional preliminary approval in order to obtain more time to submit the final map application. The preliminary map of Bridal Court number 1147 was granted conditional preliminary approval by the Planning Board on November 7th, 2012. This preliminary plat approval was valid for a 6-month period to end on May 7th, 2013. However, the final map application, including all requirements of Section 248.15 and 248.16 of the subdivision regulations, has not yet been submitted to the Planning Department. The Planning Department has no objection to the applicant's request. However, it appears that the applicant has paid 1 extension fee and is requesting 4 extensions. The Planning Department offers the following resolution for the Board's consideration. Be it resolved that the Planning Board hereby grants 4 consecutive 6-month retroactive extensions of time to the conditional preliminary approval for the subdivision known as Map of Bridal Court 1147, beginning May 7, 2013 through May 7, 2015, subject to the following condition. A, the applicant shall submit the remaining balance of the extension fee to the Planning Department.
Mr. Tramonka, are you here on behalf of the applicant? Yes. You have the affidavit of posting?
Sorry?
Is that the affidavit of posting? Okay.
I have no objection to the statement by the planning department with respect to whatever additional fees are required.
Would you like all 5 members to be present to vote on this?
No?
I think we
knew
can
you were
handle
gonna
this one.
How come I knew you were going to do that?
Is anything else you want to say on this?
No?
Anybody in the audience who wishes to be heard on this matter? Seeing none, motion, please.
Yeah, I make a motion to grant 4 consecutive 6-month retroactive extensions for the preliminary subdivision map of Bridal Court.
And to adopt the resolution as read.
Yes, and to adopt the resolution as read.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none. The resolution, the motion carries unanimously, and the resolution is adopted as read. Thank you.
Thank you.
think that's it.
Yes, that's all we have
Then
on
we
the
need
agenda.
a
tonight.
motion to adjourn, please.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? We are adjourned.